This week I'm looking back on a recent trip to Cornwall where I put together a travelling printing kit and took my mini baby blue die cut machine with me to do some printing on the road. Hello, welcome to my channel. If you're new here, my name's Helen, and every week I share a video showing some of the art, craft and creativity in my life. So I've been doing some Tetra Pak printing, and for this trip I thought that my intention would be to do a little mini Tetra Pak print every day with a view to collating it into a book as a bit of a memento, a travel journal, a diary of my trip to Cornwall. And I thought it'd be fun to put together the travel printing kit. Could this be done on the road? Is this something easy to do? Now I've got this little, the baby blue die cut machine. How portable is this? Could I take this with me? So it was a bit of an experiment and a bit of a fun project to do. So I talked through the printing setup and have a little go at doing some printing. I also had a little play with doing some, it turned out to be more embossing than printing, but I played with some seaweed as well. So there's a little clip of running some seaweed through the machine to see whether any of the colour from the seaweed would actually transfer onto the paper. But actually, I ended up with quite a nice embossed print. So yeah, so it was a little bit of a play with some seaweed and also doing some Tetra Pak printing. Next week I'm going to be showing you the process of binding my prints together to make a little mini travel book. So let's have a look, see how I got on in Cornwall. noisy. So this is my portable print setup. So I've obviously got my little press. I'm going to put that to one side. I have got in this bag here, I've got a tray. Difficult to do it one-handed, but I've got just a tray with some newspaper which I've been printing, inking up on. This is another little tray which I'm putting my ink and sundries on, you know, the gauze and everything. I've got a little rubbish bag in there, and I've got my Inky Fingers box, so that's in there. In here is one of my butter containers, and it has got my ink in it, so I've bought my Akua ink. I've got a little jam jar, mini jam jar with a cork stuck in it. That's what I'm using to ink up on. I've got my gloves which I've wrapped up in some newspaper, and I've got the scrim, the piece of gauze, and a lolly stick wrapped up in that newspaper underneath. So the lolly stick for stirring the ink, and the scrim for wiping the plates. So that's that little container, so that's inking up. I've got a plastic bag which I am spraying my paper with and leaving that to soak. I've got a pack of baby wipes and a spare pair of gloves and some gauze. Pack of baby wipes, spare pair of gloves and some gauze, and another bag there. And I've got a little folder of papers. So these are newsprint to put my plates onto and for packing up. I've got my layers of paper. I've got some blotting paper in here, and I've got my plates and the felt that goes through the press. So this is one that I've just done. So I've got 2 Tetra Paks on here, and that's just been pressed through to give me this. I'm working on a little, I'm going to do a little concertina book, which is going to be a memento of my trip. So these, I'm working on a double page spread. So rather than printing up every day, I'm printing every other day. But it's an image from each day, and I'm going to be binding it together when I get home and annotating around the edge of the print. So we'll see how that goes. So that's my little mini travelling printing press. As you can see, I've also bought a little roll of just a strip of my table covering fabric, so that's in a little roll there. So yeah, that's me. Ta-da! There's a lot of pressure in there. Whether it's actually going to do anything, I don't know. I've got an emboss. No colour.
tiny bits of colour.
In summary, I'm very pleased that I took my kit with me, and it was a fun project to do. It's very transportable, very portable, especially if you're travelling by car. I had boot space. I put together a bag of the printing material, and I reduced it down as much as I could. But as always, I did overpack. I packed more paper than I thought I was going to, than I actually used, and yeah, I overpacked. But I overpack with everything. I pack for all eventualities. So, would I do it again next time? I probably wouldn't take the actual printing kit away with me unless I was going for a decent length of time, a long period of time, and was staying in one place for that one time. Over the course of the 2 weeks, I stayed in 3 places, well, actually 4. And it was something that did I want to get the kit out to do in these different places. If you were in one place, you could have it. You could get your kit out, leave it on a tea tray, and that could be out for that duration of time. I was very considerate, and I did take table covering, and I took lots of baby wipes and kitchen paper, and obviously I had my gloves and everything. And I do work quite neatly, generally speaking. Even at home here, I work quite small, and I work quite neatly. I'm not a messy worker. Guilty secret: there are cream carpets in this studio space here. Not my choice, but that's what I have at the moment. And yeah, so I am very mindful of mess anyway. But yeah, I probably wouldn't take the printing side of things away. As far as making in this case, Tetra Pak plate every day, that might be a fun project to do, and I wouldn't rule out doing that. In reality, I did only a couple of sessions of printing, and I have printed the rest of those plates since I've got home. So, although they are a memento of Cornwall, they weren't printed in Cornwall. But that's fine. That's fine. I'm still able to collate the book that I wanted to collate, and create a little memento journal, travel book, whatever you want to call it, of my trip to Cornwall. Yeah, I would do it again, but in a different way. I probably wouldn't take the printing things away with me, but I would maybe take creating the plate side of things away, the actual scribing onto the Tetra Pak. That's where I stand at the moment. I was actually more inspired to draw, to sketch, to create plein air. So, I wanted to have my sketchbook with me or drawing materials with me every day, and I wanted to create while I was out and about, while I was up on the cliffs, while I was on the beach. I wanted to make, and so my creativity was incorporated into the activity of the day rather than coming home to then create of an evening. So yeah, that's kind of just what worked for me. So I would do it again, but in a different way, and but I probably wouldn't take the printing side of things away with me. Although the baby blue did travel very well and is of a lovely size to take away with you. So next week I'm going to be showing you the process of me putting together the little book that I made, and yeah, just showing you the result of my creativity in Cornwall. So as always, thanks again so much for watching, for liking, subscribing and commenting, and until next time, bye for now.
Very cute.